So I am incredibly excited to announce that Cursed is live. And not only that, but it's time for me to start doing story questions again. I have a beautiful bank of questions. Thank you to everyone who has sent them to me. If I haven't gotten back with you, please feel free to message me. And you can use any form of the social media that I'm on, and I will try to get back with you. And if I haven't, I do apologize. And of course, I try to get back even if I'm planning to answer this in a video, because, you know, the questions now. The only thing I can't really answer are, of course, the deep spoilers, usually. So, it is in honor of Curse that I have decided I'm going to answer a question that sort of relates to that story, and which I've gotten a few times. This question is whether or not Naatos is the first non-Neyeb to be nulaamed or engaged to a Neyeb, or to make that petition. And so first, it is unusual. However, Naatos, despite being the primary antagonist in the main series, Two Raw Chronicles, actually goes about this the right way. See, the Neyeb practice arranged marriages. Their arranged marriages actually have some of the highest success rates because they use a combination of mind reading, and in some case rely on the Mache, who are prophets and have the gift of foresight, to help them put together the best marriages possible. And they start analyzing the potential applicants from a very young age. And for the most part, these arranged marriages are prepared from the time that they are about 4 or 5 years old, sometimes as young as 2 to 3. They have strict laws in place that require there be no interaction between the two nulaamed individuals. There are steps in place to ensure that they don't run into each other and that there is no manipulation. In fact, because there are points where there can be a significant age gap, it's incredibly important that the youngest one is given sufficient freedom to develop and not be preyed upon in any way. And so the way that this works is that they have their whole life up to 24, and they can choose to go with anyone else that they want. Either side can actually do this. It's just that the youngest one's age is the one that's counting down. And they can, in certain circumstances, also ask for additional time if they think that they need it. Now, they know nothing about the individual to whom they are nulaamed, which is sort of like being engaged, but it's a tentative engagement, because again, either one can say, I found someone else and I want to go with them, and there's a process to break that connection, and it's both are allowed to go free, and there are no hard feelings, because what's important is that each individual is able to go on their own journey. Now, of course, some don't always handle it well, but that's other stories. The important thing then is that when they start to make that choice, of course, then they are presented with, this is the information that we have about who we were nulaaming you to. You may consider this if you want to, or you may go on with whoever you choose. Most of the time, arranged marriages within the Neyeb culture are Neyeb to Neyeb, just because there are particular unique struggles to being an empathetic mind reader, even though there are different degrees, because you have the mind weavers, core healers, empathetic healers, and so on and so forth. And they do have a very specific situation that they are, set of situations that they're dealing with that aren't quite like what the other races do. So most of the time, the Neyeb Council of Elders and those who are involved in this decision do try to keep them within the Neyeb community. So most of the non-Neyeb to Neyeb marriages occur because the Neyeb are out, and it's very easy for them to fall in love, even though there are things they can do to protect themselves. It's most often, oh my goodness, handsome stranger, why hello, and there you go. And that's what typically causes the nulaaming to be broken. So there are non-Neyeb Neyeb relationships out there. They're not very common because in general the Neyeb are aware of how much effort went into finding someone who was an ideal match, and there are indicators that might say things such as, this person won't actually work very well with another Neyeb, and so in that case they take steps. And of course, in situations where this individual doesn't want to be with anyone, they will not go forward with nulaaming if they think that that's the case. And so sometimes they'll even hold off if there are things that, there are perhaps elements that cause them to be concerned that they can't create a good match off of the mental print and what they're able to tell at this point, they'll wait. And so a few of the non-Neyeb have tried to follow the procedure by coming in, and they allow the elders and everyone there to analyze them, to consider them, to look at the state of their mind, and it's an incredibly intensive process. And then they petition. And of course, this is handled very cautiously, and this is a point where you are often talking about age gaps, because usually you don't have parents of, say, Adams, which we're Adams, or Diablos or Belorns bringing their children in to be analyzed, though it has happened a few times. So most non-Neyeb generally don't want to go through this. Naatos, however, actually does respect the Neyeb culture, and he has very particular reasons for wanting to marry a Neyeb. Whether those are all good or not, well, we can discuss that later, and that was another question that I received, and I'll be sure to touch on that. But he's not the only one, he's just one of the few, and in this case he actually followed the proper procedure, for the most part. As you read in Curse, there are a few little things that change it up just a bit. So that's all for this question. If you have any others, please feel free to let me know. Thank you so much for watching this, and if you could like and subscribe, you'll get to see more videos. Thank you so much. Bye.